And they are the Breaking Bad cast reunited. Kind of hard to bring Hank back, but old Sal's doing all right. Call me Sal. He was the criminal lawyer everybody wanted. And that's why we love Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was A&E's big success breakthrough. Vince Gilliam's creation was stumbled out the blocks because a lot of people did. It was one of those stories that needs time to develop. They rewritten the rules of television. Just think about it. One of the greatest shows ever put on television was a story about a man who had to sell crystal meth and make crystal meth and sell it for the betterment of his family. The Sopranos, um, American mob family, murdered, killed, stole for the betterment of their family. And they would not accept this from African Americans. It's crazy. The Wire, disgusting gang drug dealing show. But everything else is okay. But this is a very good television program for those of you guys who don't remember. Now, they're not talking about they snitch. Oh, see, that's one thing they kill me about the Italians and their code for the mob. Yo, it's got to be Italian. That way we know he won't tell. We don't trust nobody but our own. But when they get locked up and they've been ratted on and snitched on, all the people that's been telling on them in the jail has been their own Italians. Maybe can you point them out? So your own brought you down. But yet you still talking about brothers. It's our fault. Your own people bringing y'all down because they can be trusted. Now, Walter White, the character of Walter White in Breaking Bad, was the key to everything. Having a character like Walter White was gonna bring out the show. This is you know, Bryan Cranston really brought him out. And now he's doing Sneaky Pete and all these other shows that he's doing, movies on the side. This series really broke the mold because it was a risk. A&E, after season one, they weren't really sure they was gonna continue with the series. First episode, you seeing the guy basically in his underwear, way out in the desert making crystal meth. It just was slow. It was character based. It was building up, and the writing was good. And that's not normally the standard in today's television. It's the 10th anniversary of Breaking Bad. It's hard to believe it was 10 years ago I fell in love with this show. When this was done, people in the rating system was like, shame on Sony and AMC for green lighting a show that glamorized uh what is it? Glamorize the cooking and selling of meth. Why? Who's showing them cooking up meth? He's like, it's pretty impossible to glamorize meth. He's like, we didn't even tilt it one way. We just show the way it is. Meth is not something. No, it hasn't been off the air. When it first aired, it was 10 years ago. A lot of people don't understand 2008 is a very long time ago. That's 10 years. It seemed like it was just yesterday, but it's 10 years. They filmed the pilot, what, 11 years ago? And then they put it out to see what it run and everything, and AMC said, we love it. It was the highest rated show at that time. They wouldn't be a Walking Dead if it wasn't for Breaking Bad. And now The Walking Dead, I think, has stayed too long. You know, it's at the point now, it's like you kind of want it to end. Because it's kind of like not making sense no more. You got so many humans killing humans that the show is starting to drag. Like last season wasn't really good. I thought with Negan and everything last season would be great, but it really wasn't. It was slow, it was choppy, and they were trying to make it surprises, and they cared about Fear the Walking Dead, so they're trying to connect pieces, and it just wasn't good. I mean, sloppy, just having Rick just killing all the. I'm like, what is this all about? Now Rick's Negan? Like, come on, it's getting out of hand. I know zombies are irrelevant now, and once they got all these humans killing humans, and it's not even about the zombies anymore. The thing that made Breaking Bad work, y'all, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, this is what made Breaking Bad work. Characters. Saul Goodman. Better Call Saul, the crooked lawyer. Like I said, once again, these are the things that make the show work. When you have people in place to get things done, and it just not getting done. You got to call up Mr. Fix-It. And nobody was good at getting criminals off than Sal. Better Call Sal. Hank is the clueless detective who didn't know that the guy he's looking for is standing right in front of him. Gus Fring. When Gus came into the picture, it was clear the season had went to an all-time high with Gus. Because Gus was everything that Bryan Cranston's character, Walter White, That was his guy. Him and Gus understood each other, and Gus saw himself in him, and Walter White saw himself as Gus because he loved the way Gus ran things, the way it was perfection, and it was clean, it was organized, the way he had a whole cook center, the whole lab, everything. And all of this would have worked, but Walter White kept wanting more. And he didn't realize it. It was all his fault. All the demise, everything that happened was all his fault. He made enough money, he could have got out the game. Could have went about his life, but he had to, no, we could run this operation. Me and you, Jesse. We could run this. What's my name? Eisenberg. You damn right. So Skyler, the wife, the way she goes through changes was driving me nuts. Okay, Skyler, because she didn't know what was going on for 2 seasons, then he had to bring her in on it and then win Skyler over. Then she became like, once she was involved, she was like the boss lady of it, and she was real good at hiding everything from the family and what have you, and that was it. When Skyler was on board, they were unstoppable. When she started feeling regret and, oh my God, where's this going? Now, Walt Jr., he was different. Walter White was doing all this because his son was handicapped. They had another baby. Walter was dying of cancer. And he felt like, I got to leave something for my son and for my family. So the show was based off this. So when Walter got cured and he was okay and he was no longer dying of cancer, there was no reason for Walter to continue what he was doing. But he felt obligated to do so. Exactly. He turned into Gus. That's what the whole Eisenberg thing was about. He wanted to be the boss. Gus knew he could keep Walter working forever. He gave Walter an out. He said, you know what? You're out. We're going to get you out of here, and that's that. Remember, Jesse's first time killing somebody, Walter White made him do it. He was, Jesse, if we don't kill this cook, Gus is going to kill us. Okay? We're going to do this last cook, then he's going to kill us. But if we kill that cook, then he's got to keep us. But if this guy comes in here, because the guy knew how to cook almost as good as Walter. Remember, Walter, his thing was almost at like 90-some%. Every cook up, Walter White was at like 90-some%. 99% pure. And all the other guys, when they cook up, they stuff is like at 70, 65, stuff like that. It made no sense. And the other guy was like, why don't I just shoot you, Walter White? And then I can go sell my stuff. My stuff is at 60, 70% good. Who cares? High is high. And he was like, you can't be that dumb. The greater the product, the greater the yield. Meaning, the greater it is, the quality of it, the more you can sell it for. See, people don't understand that even in today's drug dealing times. Drug dealers, a lot of them are very stupid. They were selling weed, all of it basically at the same price and told me I didn't know what I was talking about. They're like, well, you don't know nothing about drugs. You don't sell no drugs. I'm like, you're right, I don't. But I'm smart enough to know that everybody talking about they coming for this thing that you got here. And they are killing themselves for that. Shouldn't this be more than this? If the demand is more for this, the price should be higher for this. Why are you giving them this much of a bargain? He didn't realize it. He was costing himself hundreds and hundreds of dollars a day by letting that product go for that price. And he was hurting his other stuff because who's going to buy that if it's the same price as this? They'd be, nah, I just take that. That's like premium quality stuff. You getting the same price as regular gas. Why would you get regular gas? You would get the premium, right? Exactly. So back to the story. I wasn't a drug lord, but if I was, I would be a drug lord. I wouldn't be no little pack guy. I would be the guy that moved metric tons by the snap of a finger. It had been an organized precision had I ever got in the drug game. See, most drug dealers, they get high on their own supply. So that's like they like that's the first rule. Never get high on your own supply. Why? Getting high is the reason they wanted to sell drugs. So with Walter White, like he said, he's like, your thing is some off-brand soda, and I'm Coca-Cola. Do you want to live in a world without Coca-Cola? I didn't think so. He was like, go back, fire your cooks. You can get the product from us and make more money. That's just the gist of it. Well, a lot of people feel like it was an idiot who tried to start a grow house and sell meth. Meth will get you a lot of time, buddy. Oh, now this thing got to go. Whatever little fly thing this is. I've always liked Walter White. Always liked the show. Always liked everything that was going on. Oh, I would love to, but they're not. Everybody's in their own thing. It was just good to see them all come back together just for the photo shoot and talk about old times. I mean, every character meant something to the show. Even the wife. Y'all remember the wife of Skylar's sister and Hank's wife? How connected to the show she was? Like, that was a very important relationship. Because she was the main one trying to keep things afloat, but she was having her nervous breakdowns and she was had a kleptomaniac problem. Jesse always had a junkie girl. And Walter had her taken out. He was gonna kill Jesse. And Jesse ended up getting that girl killed. When the KKK bikers showed up, that would be very nice to see. I would love to see how the shows tie into one another. Because on the show, Better Call Saul, this is all a prequel. Right, Gus's right-hand man, enforcer, who ended up working for Walter White. When him and Mike tried to negotiate a deal to sell the stuff to them, like, that's it, we're closing the business down. Walter White wanted to keep going. When she's like, how much is enough? They had all that money in that doggone safe. In that storage bin.